You know, life is interesting. And life certainly has a way of throwing curveballs at you, especially when you least suspect it. I didn't know I was going to get COVID, but I did. I was diagnosed with bilateral COVID pneumonia, which means I have both COVID and pneumonia in both my lungs. Pretty deadly combination. 14 days into my sickness, I was rushed to the clinic because I wasn't doing well, wasn't getting better. This was my second time going to the clinic. They gave me medicine and antibiotics the first time, but it seems like my situation got worse. 14 days later, I'm back there. And after going through my tests and everything, they're like, you gotta go to the hospital. And so they called the ambulance and rushed me to the hospital. I remember on the way there, I had a conversation with my family. And I was telling them, you know, I don't know what's gonna happen. Hopefully I'm able to beat this. And the doctor said, you know, if you came 1 or 2 days later, you may not have made it. And having that conversation with my family, I said, you know what? In an absolute worst scenario, in an absolute worst case scenario, I am just glad that I made the right decisions a long time ago, where that in the chance that I'm not able to make it, if God calls me home, I am just grateful, thankful that I made the right decisions to make sure that I position my family so that they would be okay. Decisions I made a long time ago, even during the times when I didn't have it. I remember getting started in business as an entrepreneur at 20 years old. I was a broke college student, barely able to pay my bills, barely making $1,000 a month. I was a balloon artiste, door-to-door salesman. I didn't have money to invest in my education or in a business or even start a business. But I was so sick and tired of being broke, so sick and tired of having my back against the wall, so sick and tired of the lack I was experiencing in my life. I knew I was deserving of more. I knew I was deserving of success. I knew there was a birthright out there waiting for me. I just had to go out there and claim it. But I didn't have what it took financially. But you know what? Your biggest resource in life is your resourcefulness. And I was so determined, I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired that I became resourceful. You know, when you really want something, you will go out and do whatever it takes. Run through walls if you have to achieve that goal. And if you don't want it badly enough, well, you make excuses. Thank God I made the right decision that day that became a 7-figure decision for me many years later. You know, one of my mentors taught me that. You know, the decisions you make in life are a direct reflection on the type of life you live today. Our life is made up of a sum of the decisions we made our entire life. And while I didn't know it at that time, 20 years old, when I made that decision, in spite of everyone around me, my parents, my friends, the world basically, tell me, Dolmar, you're doing too much. Dolmar, you're never gonna make it. Dolmar, you're gonna fail. Dolmar, the odds are already stacked against you. In spite of all of that negativity, in spite of all of those limiting beliefs that people try to enroll me into, I made a decision that changed my life forever. So that years later, when I find myself in a situation, a circumstance where life has me down, on my knees, on my back, basically almost on my deathbed, struggling to make it, struggling to survive, and the chance that I might have been called home, laid to rest, I know that I could leave this world at peace, knowing that I made the decisions, I took the action, I made the sacrifices necessary so that my family will be okay. Can you say the same for you? If you're going through some tests, trials, tribulations right now, if you're experiencing lack in your life, but you know that you're deserving of more, you want more, you desire more out of life, nothing changes unless you do. I believe that there's amazing opportunities out there for every single one. You deserve to be successful. And you can be a success if you're determined to receive it. If you're determined to put in the work, commit, and be consistent and persistent. But it all starts with a decision. Are you willing to make the decision, make the sacrifices necessary to position yourself and your family so that, like me, if you came close to or were taken away from your family, that they would be okay? Can you wake up every morning and look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, I have made the decisions, I have made the sacrifices, I've taken the action to do whatever I have to do. Be resourceful enough, regardless and in spite of where I'm good, my family's good, the people I care about are good, my loved ones are good. If not, you have some decisions you have to make today. Tomorrow is not promised. Why wait? Do it today. You know what you got to do. Do it today, right now. This is your time. This is your moment. Let's work.